Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is episode 2 of Great Dissident Gaming. We are going to continue our Mario 64 run, but first I wanted to make a few comments about the first episode. This video got over 300 views and 13 subscribers in 1 week. I don't know about you, but that's kind of an insane number for me, and I just wanted to welcome you all to the Skeleton Crew. Now, I know that comment seems ironic, as the Skeleton Crew is usually something that's small, but I plan on changing the definition of the Skeleton Crew by making you into an army. But in all seriousness, I really wanted to say thank you guys. You are a great community, and I just started out, and I just wanted to feature a few of the comments that were super supportive, and honestly, I didn't even know how to react to because they were so positive, and I just appreciate you guys, even though I don't know you personally. YouTube's been a dream of mine for a very long time, and thanks to you guys, I feel like this might be something I might actually be able to pull off. And, thanks. I know I've been thanking you a lot, but I do really appreciate it. Welcome to the Skeleton Crew. I just thought of something. If I can grow my numbers, yes, Death will have to take me back. He'll have to take me back as one of his servants' workers. No, even better. If I could grow up my numbers big enough, then maybe we could just... Yes, I like that plan. Anyways, let's move on with the video. Welcome back to part 2 of Mario 64 120 Stars. We're gonna pick things back up right from where we left them. Having just collected the wing cap, we decided to move back into Bomb on Battlefield and collect the 5th star, now that we have access to it. Now, the reason we needed access to the wing cap was because on top of the floating island, there is a set of 5 rings, and while they don't look like they're that hard to get a hold of, if you look at them, they're much higher than what you're thinking. So, you have to use the cannon and the wing cap combined to make your way up there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did try to get this multiple times by just jumping over and over again with a triple jump, and kind of forgot that the cannon was there to help me out, but I did eventually end up getting the star. We jump back in order to collect the 6th star of this area, behind the Chain Chomp's gate. It's quite an easy star, and honestly, all you have to do is just jump on the Chain Chomp's post and ground pound it 3 times. Now, with that being said, it is sometimes painful, as he does like to chomp you and deal a lot of damage. But once you get it done, he pops up in the gate, and you're good to go. We go back in one last time to go and collect the 100 coin star so we can finish up the area of Bomb on Battlefield. Honestly, there's not too much to say on this one. You whack a few Goombas, kill a few bombs, collect a few coins, run around a couple of posts. I mean, eventually you'll get there. It's not that difficult, and honestly, I didn't die on this one, so there's not as much to say as Wump's Fortress, I suppose. With that out of the way, we decide to make our way over to Peach's Slide and get the next 2 stars. Honestly, they weren't as hard as I remember from when I was a kid, but with that being said, I have a lot more fine-tuned control and ability to play games like this, and I've been practicing quite a bit with all the deaths and all. We make our way through it once, getting the 1st star, and then we make our way through it a 2nd time, getting the 2nd star. And as you can tell by that time right there, the 2nd star was even faster than the 1st one. In fact, that was the fastest anyone's ever done it before. Once again, just don't look it up. I decided to go ahead and go towards Dire Docks and see these black boxes. I know that I've seen these before and had no idea what was in them. I took a minute and eventually did manage to get inside this one. It gave me a 1-up, but I also saw one on the other side of the room. Decided to give it a chance. So that's how you get inside that bonus level. I was wondering. This is one of the secret bonus levels inside of Peach's Castle. I mean, it's a pretty simple one. You just swim around, collect the 8 red coins, and then grab the star in the middle. Nothing more to it. 1 extra bonus star for us, and progress for the total game. We go on to the next painting, and... Wait, crap, did I say Dire Docks? I meant Jolly Roger Bay. Anywho's, with that mistake cleared up, it's time to go look for some sunken treasure, aka our next star. In order to get the next star, you have to make your way past this eel guarding the ship. And to be honest, I don't really know if there's a trigger for him, because no matter what I tried, and however many times I tried it, he seemed to just move on a random note whenever he felt like it, and eventually I was able to get in. Unfortunately, this is where the first death of the episode comes into play, as I had low HP and did not know the combination. Of course, I had to get it wrong twice and run out of air. Hello, death counter. I'm glad to see you're still kicking around. Hopefully we won't have to see too much of you today.
I highly doubt it's the last time you'll be seeing me.
Hello. I did not know you could talk. And he's gone. Well, I guess I'll talk to him next time. Anyways, with that out of the way, we make our way back down, and this time we actually get the proper combination. Once you insert the correct combination into these chests, the ship starts to drain, allowing you access to the block, which can only be hit when on solid ground. Diving right back in, yes, pun intended, we realize that the ship's not there anymore, and the eel, subsequently, is also gone. We look around for a moment, find the eel, and go up to him to say hi. He decides he wants nothing to do with us as we took his ship away, and we get distracted by the ooh, shiny! After a few moments of chasing the eel, we finally collect a star and move on. Up next, we're on our way back to that cave from earlier to collect the treasure in the cave. This star's not too difficult. I mean, you just gotta take out a few Goombas, avoid a couple of falling pillars, and get another combination of chests correct. The only real thing of note here is I actually managed to get on my first try, surprisingly. It's time for everyone's favorite and somewhat repetitive star, the 8 red coin star. Once again, for those of you who have never played this game before, here's the location of the 8 red coins. The first is on top of the spike near the island with the pink bomb. The second is at the front end of the ship right after the block switch. Numbers 3 and 4 are just on the back ledge of the ship. Number 5 I found in the mouth of this clam, right here by the shore. Number 6 was in the clam just a little bit deeper into the water next to the one with the shell. Number 7 was in the clam at the very bottom of the chasm. And number 8 was in the clam by the 2 spikes. This one was fairly simple, all things considered, and I did manage to beat it without dying. Now, I will say it did take me some extra time trying to find the last coin, as I didn't check this last clam here, but other than that, it was not too bad. The next star, Blast to the Stone Pillar, is a pretty simple one. You just have to talk to the pink bomb, get the cannon open, and shoot your way up there. Well, I'd already done this on the last one, and the cannon was already ready for me to go. I will say, though, I did make some stupid mistakes, and forgot that I can grab onto the freaking spikes, and kept shooting into the abyss when I could have just grabbed on. Eventually, we did up grabbing the spike, and all we had to do was jump over this platform and grab the star. The 6th star is through the jet stream. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to get this one yet, as we still need the metal cap, which we don't have access to. If you're not a casual player like me, you could probably use a speedrunning trick to get it, but unfortunately, I don't really know how to do it that well, so I decided to just go and skip it and come back to it later. Instead, we decided to go for the 100 coin star, which did take some time, as it felt like there was only barely enough for us to get it. There was a little over 100 coins in the total level, and I'm not sure if I was missing a few, but it was pretty difficult to find them all. If any of you would like me to go over the 100 coins that I find throughout the levels, much like my red coins, just let me know in the comments below and I might consider doing that. This star alone took me about 10 minutes, which may not be a lot, but without any deaths to add to the counter, it's actually quite a bit of time. But eventually we managed to get them all and collect the star for going 100 coins. Hey, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to see if you had noticed. We're at 24 stars, and we only have 1 death? There's absolutely no way that this could go wrong. Like, come on. I have to be getting better at this game. There's no way that we can increase that death counter more than what it's already at, right? Come on! Anyway, with that out of the way, the next area we're going to is Cool Mountain. The first star acts a lot like Peach's slide. All you have to do is go in this log cabin and slide to the bottom. Just don't fall off, because obviously that ends in a death, and we don't want any more of those. At this point, we actually almost managed to fall off the edge, and somehow we grabbed on. I didn't even know this was possible, but thankfully I was able to just keep going and get the star. Now, I am going to be honest, I thought the star was up here at the top for some reason, but after a little bit of playing around with it, this jump is way too hard for casual players, and for good reason. This was just a 1-up. My gosh, I feel dumb. After spending a little over a minute trying to get this, I finally decided to take a pause and walk outside. And of course, there's the star. The next one is a classic amongst the meme community for many different reasons, but I'm just trying to deliver the baby to its mother, and if you didn't ever realize, it's always the one on top. They're not randomized unlike what you would think. I realize now that I should have taken that shortcut. It would have been quicker and honestly a lot easier. But instead I decided to jump off the edge. I drop the baby, and then I go back to try and collect it. Jump off the edge again, and unfortunately, with some weird collision and interaction, we kind of died. Hopping back up to where the baby penguin is, instead of falling off, we intentionally slide off the proper side to make it easier for us to access the mother penguin. We reunite them, and she gives us our next star. Oh, you absolute fool! I was gonna take him all along and drop him off the edge, don't you know? For the meme! And I would do it if I was allowed to, but I was just joking. Let's get the star and get out of here. For our next star, we were to race the big penguin inside that slide area that we had earlier. However, for some reason, I couldn't manage to do it in one try and died a few times. I don't really know what was different, because it's not like it was that much harder than it was before, but hello, death counter. I really wish I didn't have to interact with you again.
Oh, you fool. But this is just the beginning. I'm sure there's going to be many, many more where that came from.
Go on, get out of here. I've got work to do, and that was the last death for this star, so you're not needed right now. We finally make it around that bend that's been giving us some serious issues, and yes, we do finally manage to get to the end and beat the penguin. Time for our favorite, the A-Raid coins. Now, I know what I said earlier about them being repetitive and annoying, but I actually probably have to give that honor to the 100 coin star, which we'll get to eventually. Now, there was a singular death in this area, but I want you to see what happened exactly. I was trying to jump up this hill to get this coin, and I just started sliding all of a sudden. Like, I was on a flat surface. How the heck did that even happen? Well, with that out of the way, here's the location of the 8 red coins. The first one is literally just floating on a tree right here at the beginning in front of the Oak Lodge. The second one we collected was on the broken bridge, past the 2 snowmen. The third one is at the very top of the ski lift on this little ledge over here. The fourth coin is either just past or just before the snowman head, depending on where you're going, in this little corner over here. The fifth one I collected by jumping off the starting bridge here, which I kinda should have just done it from the very beginning, and it's right there behind that icicle. I'm gonna let this play out, because while I did know where this coin was, I kinda ran into it by dumb luck. It's right on that tree next to the big penguin. The seventh coin is just past the big penguin in this little cutout of the mountain. I don't really know why it's here, but there it is. And this is when I finally remembered that this shortcut existed. The 8th red coin is just around the corner of that cutout in the mountain I was just talking about. With that, the star spawns up kinda high, so we decided to take the shortcut back up and go grab our star. So do you remember that snowman head I talked about earlier? Well, now he wants a body, and his body's right up here at the top of the hill. The only complication is that we need to get it to follow us, and the only way to do that is if we're constantly following ahead of it. Now, this wouldn't be too complicated if I had actually read the information and followed it the first time. However, the first attempt I decided to follow behind it. The second attempt I tried to jump off the side and be ahead of it so I could try and guide it at the bottom, and neither of those really worked. Then I realized it needed to follow behind me, meaning I needed to be in front of it the entire time, and we did eventually get it. Now, before we can witness this triumph of me reuniting the snowman with his body, I did manage to accidentally fall inside the hut, so I had to go through the race again. But the only problem with that is I kind of died and had to do this whole process over again. Are you kidding me? Ah, well, we pick ourselves back up and dust ourselves off and try again. Here is our winning attempt where we get our body and heads reunited finally. We did kind of get mauled in the end, but it's all worth it in the name of progress, right? With us giving the snowman a body, he graciously gives us his very own star. The 6th star of this area, wall kicks will do, is one that's not even that hard. You just have to talk to the pink bomb and open the cannon. However, I kind of forgot the pink bomb was there and thought I needed to jump off the side for some reason, so I may have died a few times, and even when I did realize the bomb was there, it still didn't get much better. I did happen to have a really cool save at one point and thought I was going to make it and still ended up dying. After a few attempts and deaths, we finally realize there's an escalator and take it up there. Yes, I realized that I had mentioned that it was there before, but honestly, I kind of forgot that it didn't spawn until I was close enough and hadn't seen it until this point. Now with the cannons activate, we decide to go ahead and shoot ourselves into the void, because I am terrible at aiming this thing. But before that, we jump into the void. In fact, on our successful attempt, I almost shot myself into the void again. Oh wait, scratch that, I did. I overshot this time. Eventually, with enough annoyance and persistence, I did manage to make it across. Though barely, I almost bonked and fell into the void again. We make our way around the edge around these two enemies, and up the zigzagging path using a couple of wall jumps, slash backflips, slash triple jumps, just whatever was most convenient at the time.
Man, you're terrible at this game. I might take my cousin involved.
Please no, anything but him, not the reset counter, please. Last but not least is the 100 coin star of this area. I did decide to start with a slide as it had a lot of coins to offer, but I did manage to die and I'm kind of disappointed in myself for that. After dying twice, we make it to the end and collect about 80 coins, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. Now, I decided to go ahead and leave and just say, screw this, I'm going to collect the other 20 coins outside because I'm pretty sure it won't be that hard. And in all honesty, with collecting a couple red coins and a patch of gold coins, it really wasn't that bad. We grabbed the last few coins we need and grabbed the star. What happens afterwards is a little tragic, as we lose control and actually fall out of the map, meaning that's another death that was entirely unnecessary. With that, we finish up Cool Mountain and decide to do one more section before taking on Bowser. The last section we attempted was Big Boo's Haunt, and all things considered, this one wasn't too bad. Let me explain. The first star of this section is on a ghost hunt, and honestly, it's not too bad. All you have to do is go through each one of these doors and make sure that you find the ghosts haunting the sections and take care of them. Now this one was a little tricky for me at first, as I couldn't find the last two ghosts, but once I went outside and looked around the back, I realized there was a door outside where the other two were hiding. Once we take care of these two, in one shot mind you, the Big Boo decides to spawn inside the mansion and greet us himself. Well, we graciously take his offer and take care of him ourselves and get our next star. At this point, we could have just grabbed the star, but since I already had over half the coins I needed, I decided to go ahead and get the 100 coin star while I was at it. This one wasn't too difficult, just had a little bit of trouble finding the last few coins, and accidentally managed to kill a book, which I didn't entirely know was possible, and it gave us our last 5 coins. That allowed us to get the star, and we got out of there. The next star in Big Boo's merry-go-round is a pretty simple one. Honestly, I'd fallen down there earlier, I just didn't show it. So we decided to go ahead and take the shortcut by just jumping in the pit and entering the door. This one's pretty simple. You just have to avoid the hazards and take out a series of boos. Eventually, a big boo will spawn and try to challenge you to a fight, in which case you just destroy him and steal a star. The secret in the bookshelf is a really easy one, to be honest. All you have to do is make your way up to the second floor, enter the store, and put in the correct combination of books. I mean, if they really just wanted to make it that easy, they should have just given it to us, all things considered, but whatever. Time for the 8 red coins, and since I didn't die in this section, I suppose I just get to tell you where they're at this time. The first is behind the infamous Mimic Piano, which is probably famous for terrorizing and traumatizing children. The next two are in the room just over, on top of the bookshelves here. The fourth one is in the room with the 3 jutting out edges and the pit. The fifth one is located in the red grated area above where the Mr. Eye was on the first floor. The 6th and 7th coins were located just past this Mr. Eye on the second floor in the room that looked like it was full of coffins. Last but not least, the 8th red coin was located in one of the last rooms upstairs where the spinning platform is that tries to drop you. Finally, we grab the star and move on to the next one. The next star is Big Boo's balcony, which I'm not even entirely sure I should have had access to yet, but I did happen to know a trick in order to get up there and get the star. All you have to do is beat the giant boo that's been taunting you at the top of the house the entire time, and you get it pretty easily. That's all the stars we can access in this area for now, as I'm not sure that I have access to the last one without the invisible cap. If there's any way, you could let me know, but I really don't know for myself. This brings us to the finale of the episode, the Bowser fight, and the red coin collection of the stage. Now, this one took me about 20 minutes, meaning, you probably guessed it, I had a lot of deaths here, and yes, I'll make a little compilation for you, and yes, I'll probably be insulted by the death counter, but here it is. Now, I'm gonna be honest, several of them were from just this stupid turn that Mario does. It's so hard to get because he does a 180-degree turn at about 5 feet distance, and that block is not that big. Several of these deaths were just straight up because I couldn't see what I was looking at. I mean, the game is generally slidey and that makes it hard enough, but not being able to see where you're going makes it 10 times worse. This brings our total death count from 25 to 36. That's an insane increase. You got anything to say about that? Huh. Of course now you choose not to speak. For those of you who are curious and like to watch slightly longer portions of video, this is my successful attempt. And with that, we're on to the King Koopa, the man himself, Bowser! We're gonna kick his butt by throwing him into a bomb, and... Oh, it only took one bomb. I forgot that this first fight was actually that easy. Well, I guess that clears it up for this episode. We defeated the first phase of Bowser and got about 38 stars. Not too bad for one video, if I do say so myself. Well, I hope you enjoyed and will join me next time. So here are the final standings. We have about 38 stars, only 36 deaths, which is technically worse than before, but we're not going to mention that, and a little over 3.5 hours of gameplay. I mean, all things considered, these numbers could be significantly worse, but who cares in the end? It's all for fun. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and had a good time. If you liked the video, please subscribe. For a small creator like me, that means a lot, and I try to respond to any comments that get left as well. One last thing, I know this video was quite a bit longer than the last one, and I was wondering if you guys enjoyed the longer content or the shorter content. Just leave a comment down below if you care. With that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and peace.